Success, boys. Oh my goodness. I've been fighting with this thing for weeks. This is my, just gonna take a guess, early 1900s American Chain Corporation, or American Chain Company. Not sure. Company or corporation, regardless. Anyways, my goal was to restore this, still is to restore this. My dad got this for me, and, I just kind of wanted to bring it back to its glory days when it was, making bomb parts and blowing up Japs. But, had the whole thing apart. It was giving me a little bit of fits with some things, and, just getting frustrated. But this thing weighs 120 pounds, and it's solid cast iron. It is monstrous. I think it has, 6-inch jaws, huge, what do they call that? That's not the static jaw, that's the static jaw, but huge freaking, jaw on it. Big swivel base, the works or whatever. But basically the thing has about 20 different coats of paint on it from years and years of service, and I kind of want to just bring it back. I'm going to take it up to my buddy's house eventually and get it sandblasted. And might just either coat it in trans fluid for a little bit, or oil, I don't know, like linseed oil or something, just to bring out the natural metals, the colors of the metal, I should say. Anyways, my plans are now that now that I got done what I needed to get done, which I'll show you in a second, have my buddy make me a new set of jaws, jaw pads rather. You can see they're just almost like dovetailed there. And like I said, blast it, clean it up, lube it up, get it real nice. But anyways, I digress. So this was the first hurdle. This was the swivel base nut. And kind of a wretched design, only because they expect you to get that off with a slotted screwdriver. And this thing is the size of a 50-cent piece. So ultimately I ended up just spot welding or tack welding a monstrous nut on there, and I got that off. So that was my first hurdle. I was like, oh man, I'm home free now that I got this off. Well, I was wrong. So my second hurdle was, and again, like something I would do is I'm on old tool, vintage tool message boards, forums, and people have lots of knowledge and prior experience with things that I have yet to do, and they're telling me about my vice and how old it is and what it does. And something I didn't know at first was this top jaw here actually swivels, which apparently is a a commodity or an upscale feature on these old vices. But the problem was this pin. It's just a cast iron tapered pin was in here, and it was rust welded inside that shaft, or inside that shaft. And man, I could not get it out. No matter what I did, no matter what I tried, it was there's no way this is happening. I thought I was just gonna have to drill it out or something, or I don't even know. So anyways, tried a couple things and got a couple recommendations. The first thing I tried was one of these nut jacks, and I didn't really expect something like that to work. Anyways, there goes that pin. But Basically what I did was I laid a piece of mild steel down there on the floor, and then thankfully enough, on the bottom of here you can kind of see the hole where that pin goes through. I was able to set this up inside there and actually hold this bottom nut here and then crank this threaded collar and use it as a jack to apply pressure to the bottom of that pin. Well, let me tell you, I had so much force on the bottom of that thing, I was just rounding off this collar. Like, I couldn't physically turn it anymore. And you know, I'm not saying I'm strong. I'm a big guy, so I have some leverage that I can use to my advantage. And I could not get this thing off. I torqued this thing. I sat there and just tapped the top of that pin with a hammer, trying to free, you know, the rust bond that was there, and it would not come. So today I was like, you know what? I haven't touched it in a few weeks. I'm going to come back to it. Well, I played with it for about an hour and a half in between working on this Volvo and like coming back and trying to come up with another solution. So today I busted out the oxyacetylene torch, coupled with constant pressure from this nut jack and penetrating oil, and believe it or not, I used let me wipe this thing off real quick. I used a expensive claw hammer and a inexpensive Harbor Freight 5-pound mini sledge. And I just sat here with the thing, blasting the acetylene flame around the pin, and sprayed it with penetrating oil after I turned off the gas. And I basically ended up taking my claw hammer and getting under this lip and hitting the business end with the business end of the cheapo Harbor Freight mini sledge, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I hit it 2 times and I was like, ooh, 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 and next thing you know, with the pressure from the bottom, just went like a champagne cork. And man, I'll tell you what, you know, it's just gratifying when you work at something for so long and you know, you eventually persevere and get done what you're trying to get done. Needless to say, this pin, I'll probably keep it, but I might have somebody make me one out of stainless so it will not end up rusting to the inside of that vise again. But this is something that, you know, my dad gave me, and you know, I want to restore it. I want to be able to say, hey, remember that crusty old vise that you brought me, and you know, bring it back to its glory days. But that's what I got for now. I'm just pretty excited. I can't believe after weeks and weeks and weeks I fought with this pin, and you know, I guess today was the day it decided to all work together. Now, I have been able to tap this this piece with a hammer, and it swivels, you know, left to right to hold like weird shaped objects. But still, there's on the machine surfaces, it's still kind of crusty with some surface rust and stuff. It's not lubricated at all. So once I get it sandblasted, I might just go ahead and just like get a cheap tote from like Walmart and just use you know, I'll collect some used trans oil or something, even like old motor oil or something, and just dump it in there and just let the thing sit for like a week and see what happens. But that's my Vice, guys, and I'm pretty stoked that you know, it finally came apart like I wanted it to. And I guess I'll use the comment here, let's make America great again.